And obviously, I mean, I hope that, you know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it would be really dumb.
In this video, I'll look at the first 30 minutes before the polygraph itself. I'll go through the techniques applied by Agent Tammy Lee. I'll also look at how Chris responds to these techniques. I'll play the video and make comments along the way. My comments are both verbal and written. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy.
Well, and I think that's totally awesome that you're here today. I mean, I commend you. We do this in all of our missing person cases, so don't think that we're just singling you out like, oh my gosh, they want me to take a polygraph. Anytime, you know, someone was the last person to see people, or, you know, it's a missing person case, we start from the inside and we work out. I mean, that's pretty much what we do. So I've done polygraphs on the Jessica Ridgway case. I don't know if you were here for that.
The name sounds familiar.
The girl that went missing in Westminster and all that, yeah. And then
this is the first of many times that we hear Tammy make an ethos appeal to competence and credibility. In this context, it's used as an intimidation strategy, that Chris is dealing with an experienced agent and that he can't play games. This appeal is reinforced in the following.
This is the one that we had in Thornton last year or the year before. So we do this all the time, so please don't think that you're being singled out. Like, this is one way that if you didn't have anything to do with it, that we can let the investigators know, the people that really do need to know, that are looking for your wife and your little girls, to let them know, like, you know what, don't focus on Chris, focus over here, because obviously we've already cleared him, he's good to go.
Notice how casually Tammy says.
So we do this all the time.
While performing this fake comfort, indirectly, this is a warning to Chris. Another concept we notice is mirroring the suspect's hopes and thoughts. Here Tammy says what she knows Chris hopes to be the outcome, that he's cleared. Mirroring belongs to the larger strategy, agent on suspect's side. It's useful to let the suspect think that the agent has their best interest in mind to get them to talk. Thus, mirroring is used to anticipate any objections the suspect might have, and it anticipates their hopes and thoughts. We notice its presence in the following excerpt as well.
Okay, so I am, my name is Tammy. If you can call me Tammy, I'm an agent with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, so it's the CBI. It's kind of like the FBI, but for Colorado.
Okay.
So what our role is, just so you know, is anytime a law enforcement agency or a district attorney's office or the governor needs assistance with a case, they can call the CBI to come out and assist them. Okay. So obviously in this, you know, type of case, they're calling in all the resources that they can, which includes me, who works out of the Denver office, and I also do polygraphs. So they asked me if I would be willing to come here and chat with you and hopefully get you cleared up and on your way, because it sounds like that's what you're here for, and that's awesome, because that's mostly what people want to do is like, dude, you're looking at the wrong person. Like, I just want to show you I had nothing to do with this, and then you guys can get on your way and, you know, do your investigation somewhere else. So, because that helps us, because then we don't have to keep focusing on Chris. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. Okay.
In the following, we should pay attention to two things. One, how Tammy again demonstrates that she's supposedly on Chris's side. Notice how she speaks from Chris's point of view, if he suffered an injustice. And two, by pointing out the recording gear, Tammy indirectly lets Chris know that he's being closely monitored. This is intimidation.
This polygraph today is going to be recorded. Okay. Obviously it would be dumb if I didn't, because what if at the end I said you said whatever and you really didn't say it? Obviously they could go back and look at the recording. There's a camera right there. And there's also a backup digital recording that I'm doing. Okay.
This is reverse psychology. What Tammy's really saying is that she can go back and listen to everything Chris has said. She just speaks from his perspective, letting him think that she wants what's best for him.
And I have taken tons of polygraphs, obviously in my training. I went to 10 weeks for training. I've been a polygrapher for about 5 years. I went to the best school in the country. So I want you to have confidence in the fact that if you had nothing to do with this disappearance, like, we're going to find that out today, okay? I have the best training that they offer in the United States. We use the most validated testing, that's the way I'm going to ask you the questions. So believe me, if you had nothing to do with this, I will be able to show them that today. Okay?
Right.
So that should give you some confidence that, you know, this is how, like, you're going to be cleared today if you had nothing to do with it, okay?
Tammy uses the word confidence as if she wants what's best for Chris, but in fact, she gives him an indirect, firm warning that she's going to be able to detect any lie he tells. Also, we notice a firm gaze on Chris. This is to look for signs of nervousness in Chris's facial expressions as she's talking about the incident, the disappearance of Chris's loved ones.
There's actually only, you know, nervousness or anxiety cannot cause you to fail a polygraph. A lot of people think that too, that if they're really nervous that it could cause them to fail. If that were the case, no one would be allowed to take polygraphs because every single person is nervous or anxious about taking a polygraph, okay?
I thought that's how it worked.
On nervousness?
Yeah.
No. There's actually only two ways you can fail a polygraph, okay? The first way would be if you fail to follow my instructions. I'm going to give you a lot of instructions today about how to sit still, how to answer questions, things like that. So if you fail to follow those instructions, you will not pass today's test, okay? The second way would be if you choose to lie to me today. Lie to me today, okay? Obviously, this is about 100% truth. Even if there's, you know, something that you didn't tell the investigators, you know, since Monday, I guess, is when you ended up, the police were involved. If there's something that you didn't tell them since Monday, like, that is totally fine. Like, I get it. You know, people aren't going to remember every single detail every time they talk to someone. As long as you tell me what the truth is today, you will have no problem with passing, okay? I promise you that. And obviously, I mean, I hope that, you know, if you did have something to do with their disappearance, it would be really stupid for you to come in and take a polygraph today.
Exactly.
Right? Like, it would be really dumb. Okay. And it's Celeste and Bella, is that right?
Yeah, I'll call her CC too.
CC, okay.
If that comes up.
Okay, perfect. So, and I know very small amount about the case.
Okay.
Just because I want to know less about the case, because I want you to be able to tell me about the case. I don't want to have some preconceived notions about the case, and that's why I don't want you to assume that I already know details because you told Detective so-and-so, you know, that kind of stuff. I want you to be able to tell me like you were telling someone for the very first time about what happened when we get into actually talking about what happened, okay? Obviously, Chris, you're not under arrest. I have no plans on arresting you. At any point today, if you decide you want to leave, the door is right there. There is it locks us in here.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw that last night.
So there's a key in there now, so you can, if you just turn the key, it lets you out, okay? And at any point today, even after all these components are attached to you, if you decide at that point, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, this is whatever, that is completely fine. Just please allow me to unattach my components before you drag my $6,000 instrument on the floor and run out of here. And it's kind of a little maze back here, so I will show you the way out at any point if you decide, you know what, I don't want to take this polygraph, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. That is completely fine.
This is an example of Tammy initiating laughter. In this situation, so far missing persons case, the fact that Chris is able to laugh with her is a huge red flag. Because as we observe, he mimics Tammy's laughter. At this point, his behavior should be noted as highly suspicious, even before he said anything of substance.
The door does have to be shut for privacy, just because noise does affect the polygraph. And I will read you your rights today, and that's just because the polygraph components are pretty restrictive. You know, they go around your chest and stuff, and you may feel at some point that you're not free to leave, but like I said before, at any point I will unattach all the components and show you the way out if you decide, even in the middle of the polygraph, if you don't want to continue to take it, okay? So, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to give you kind of a roadmap of where we're going to go today, just so you know what to expect and that kind of stuff, okay? So we're going to first start by going over a rights and consent form, and that's that Miranda rights form. I'm sure you've heard of it. You know, you hear it on TV shows constantly. Most kids can recite their Miranda rights. We're going to go over that, and again, it's just so that you know you're free to leave and that you're not under arrest, okay? And then we're going to do a consent form, and that's just something that's required by my bosses to say that you're actually consenting to the CBI doing a polygraph on you, okay? After that, we do a biographical and a medical form. And then after that, we're going to discuss the issue of why you're here. Okay, I want to know everything you know, and again, I don't want you to assume that I already know something. I want you to kind of start from the beginning and like telling someone, maybe, you know, a friend, that you hadn't talked to since any of this has happened, and you're basically having to relay all of the details of exactly what happened with Shanann and the girls, okay? And then after that...
It's sensitive to Tammy to stress that Chris should talk to her as if he hadn't told anybody about the case. On a surface level, this is to give Chris a fresh start. But this fresh start is exactly because the agents are suspicious of his narrative and behavior. So between the lines, Tammy says that it's time for Chris to tell the truth. Also, notice how she phrases it.
You're basically having to relay all of the details of exactly what happened with Shanann and the girls, okay? And then after that...
She presupposes that Chris knows what happened to his family, and Chris even acknowledges it.
We're actually going to take a bathroom break. I'm going to let you take a break. You can use the bathroom, get something to drink. That water there is for you if you need that at any point today. And then you're going to come back in here. I'm going to explain to you how and why the polygraph works. Again, you're probably going to know more about polygraph than you even care to know before you leave here. I'm going to explain how it works, and then we're going to go over the questions that are going to be on the test. And like I said before, you're going to know the words to every single question. So it's not that, and we're going to discuss that even before we even take the polygraph, like what those questions mean, and just so you are completely clear in your mind when Tammy asked me this question, this is exactly what she means, this is exactly what she's asking, and this is the answer that I have for that question. So we're going to go over those. I let you practice answering them like 2 or 3 times, and then we'll go through them repeatedly if you need me to go over them 4 or 5 times, just, before we actually take the test. I'm more than happy to do that too. I want you very comfortable with the questions and that you know what they mean and how you're going to answer them, okay? After that, we're going to go, we're actually going to do a practice test. And again, that just lets me know that you're a suitable subject to take the actual polygraph. And then after that, we actually get into the actual testing. So that's why it takes a long time, is because there is a pretty big process that goes along with it. Okay. Yeah.
In the following, Tammy starts asking Chris about personal information. She displays interest in his answers, asks follow-up questions, and giggles to get Chris to tell more. In other words, it's important that agents act much more naive than they actually are. What Chris is probably unaware of, however, is that his ability to talk this much and laugh reveals his lack of sorrow and thus makes him look suspicious.
So did you, you're not working today, right?
No.
Do you have a date that you're going back to work?
Not at the moment.
No. How long have you worked for Anadarko?
January 2015.
So,
about 3.5 years, almost.
Yeah. Do you like it there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I worked for Covenant Testing Technologies before that.
Well, what is that?
That's a contract company for oil and gas.
Oh, okay.
Before that, I worked for Ford for 11 years as a technician.
Oh, my goodness. So does that translate into...
No, well, it's mechanical. I mean, like, I like to fix things, and when I moved out here, I worked at Longmont Ford.
Okay.
And I moved up pretty fast there, but I hit that kind of plateau that kind of just I couldn't go, it got stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having this carpal tunnel syndrome, both my hands, and I mean it was bad. Like I was doing this all day, it was bad.
Yeah.
So,
you still have that? I don't even know. Can you get rid of carpal tunnel?
Oh, it was just the onset of it. It wasn't full on I need to have surgery type thing, but now it's so much better. It doesn't have the pain. There's a lot of mechanical things you do in oil and gas, but it's not as repetitive as the car industry is.
Chris's self-focus is alarming. He even has the energy to talk about which job is repetitive and which is not. These are not the words of a concerned husband and father.
So are you, excuse my language, are you a worker bee or are you a boss guy?
A little bit of both.
Okay. You're getting your hands dirty too?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a field coordinator right now for the area. We have 6 route operators and 2 rover operators. Okay. So that's what I'm kind of just over them right now, and we game plan. We look on the computer on our well summary screen and go from there to see what kind of problems we might have throughout the day.
Sure. And
just all right, this is what we need to do. You go here, there.
Okay.
So everybody's doing middle part of the day, and everybody needs help, and try to get everybody checked out by like 3:30 or something like that.
Oh, that's nice. But you don't you to work for your...
Yeah, we start for like 6:30, somewhere around there, so.
That's super early.
Well, yeah, you have to get there early. You just never know what could happen, so.
That's true. That is true. So do you have an ID on you, Chris, that I could see? So I have, the biographical form has some, like, driver's license numbers and that kind of stuff, so I'll just keep this just for a second till I do the other form. Are you named after anyone?
No.
No?
My middle name's just my dad's middle name, but other than that, no.
Okay. If I mispronounce your wife's name, please, like, correct me. For some reason, it is so hard.
Just think of shenanigans.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I got it.
That's the way she tells people.
Does her family call her Shanann?
So the way they spelled it, it was like Shan-Ann, like with an apostrophe, but she just calls it Shanann. That kind of, she was named after Shanann.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, so.
Is it B-E-L-L-A?
For Bella, yes.
Okay.
And Celeste is C-E-L-E-S-T-E.
Perfect. All with the same last name?
Yes.
Right? Okay. So, Chris, this is the advisement and rights form. This just says that Agent Tammy Lee says, I'm an agent with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, and I wish to talk to you about, obviously, the disappearance of Shanann, Bella, and Celeste Watts, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and to have him present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. And you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of those rights? Were they read to you, Chris? So I'll just have you write, I guess, when we get to that. And then having those rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me now and obviously go through with the polygraph? Okay, perfect. So what I want you to do is go ahead and answer both of those as yeses, if you still agree with that, and then sign and date that signature line, if you would. Have you always been a Tar Heels fan?
Yes. 15?
It is, yeah. My son is like a huge Tar Heels fan. I don't even know why he likes them, but maybe because the Nuggets suck. I don't know.
Well, George Carl used to coach here too, and he was a Carolina guy.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you go to any, like, do the Nuggets play Carolina? North Carolina?
Oh no, North Carolina that's the college.
Oh, college. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting all my teams mixed up. You're right. Did you go to college then?
No, I wish I did.
You
That was
wish?
nice.
Yeah. Well, where did you go to college?
I went to NASCAR Tech, and it's in North Carolina as well.
NASCAR is the name of it?
Man, it was a mechanical school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
It focused on regular automotive and then the NASCAR portion as well.
Oh, very cool. Did you learn a lot of stuff?
Oh yeah.
Is that like kind of elite mechanical school scope?
It was part of the Universal Technical Institute. Like, it was part of their program plus the NASCAR part. Plus I went to the Ford, the FAC program there as well. So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Chris took Tammys bait. He seems flattered by her interest in him. His self-focus prevents him from realizing that it's fake. Because he's now convinced that this is a friendly atmosphere, he tells Tammy that people call him Rain Man.
Do you have any other nicknames or anything that people call you?
It's Chris.
Just Chris.
It's some, like, just random ones at work. Just doesn't make any sense. So.
Like what?
Some call me like Rain Man because like when I go to a site or something, like if I do it once, I'll remember it, and this is one of those things.
Like, do you remember like phone numbers and license plates? And
that stuff I don't really pay attention to that stuff. Though, like when I was really young, my grandma used to always quiz me on like state capitals like every day, and like when I was waiting for my sister to come out from middle school or stuff like that, she was always like just pinging stuff off my memory.
Really?
And it's just like everything. I think that's how it built.
Yeah.
For what it was and what it is.
Oh my God. That was your grandma that did that?
Yeah. My mom's mom.
Is she still alive?
No, she passed a few years ago.
Was she pretty old?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
Lived a good life?
Yeah, she was.
Good. Were you close with your grandparents?
Yeah, I went over to her house every afternoon after school, and helped her out.
Nice.
Being outside, stuff on the inside, and she always cooked me lunch, some German food, kernels and goulash, schnitzel, all kinds of stuff like that.
My first husband was German, so we had German sausage and rice all the time, and then just her German food is just amazing. Love it.
This no longer sounds like a pre-polygraph interview, but a casual conversation between friends. Tammy succeeded in acting curious and giggly, so that Chris's self-focus and thus lack of concern for his family is on full display.
So, Amanda used to be a director at Primrose School where Bella and Cece go, but then she transferred to another place, and Shanann was getting her on Thrive, and that's how they met.
Amanda's transferred to another Primrose?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, Shanann couldn't like talk to them about Thrive, the direct sales business, like while they're at, like they weren't allowed to like talk like, you know, outside, like if their child goes there, I don't know, something about the school rules or something like that. So once she left, she talked to her about Thrive and got her on Thrive, and then me and Nick started running together here and there, and that's how we met.
So is she like a, what do they call them, a downline from Shanann?
Yes.
Okay, so she's like one of the sellers that...
Yeah, like,
yeah. Okay. And I don't even understand Thrive, I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm even a chick, and I don't understand what all of that Thrive stuff is about.
It's vitamins and minerals, and it's all plant-based.
Here, unbeknownst to Chris, she reveals the strategy she's been using, acting dumber and more confused than she is. It's interesting that honesty is on her mind, and that it's important to her to emphasize honesty.
Right, I'll be honest with you. Like,
she's put on an act, and thus hasn't been honest. But her act is precisely what's slowly revealing Chris for who he is. Next, Chris has time and energy to tell about his weight loss, and Tammy acts impressed. Again, Chris takes the bait.
Non-GMO stuff, it's really healthy for you.
Yeah. Do you do it?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I was 245 pounds when I started.
No way.
Yep.
How long ago was that?
2016.
Wow.
I've been doing it for a while.
Oh my gosh. So, I think the only thing I know about Thrive is like patches or something. Is that what that is?
Well, it's 3 steps. You have like vitamins. You have 2 capsules you take when you wake up, 2 pills.
Okay.
And then you take a shake with water and throw on a patch.
You have a patch on right now?
No.
Oh, I want to see what a patch looks like.
It's just like a little square piece that just kind of goes on your skin, and it's like, it absorbs, like it opens like up your pores a little bit, and the vitamins kind of absorb like through your skin, like time release throughout the day.
Like, can you tell you feel better when you have the patch on? Really?
Yeah.
These were some examples of how Tammy's techniques worked on Chris. I may return to this interview. Thanks for watching.